something called collaboration. You cannot work alone. No man, we say no man is an island. You have to collaborate with the people you found, the team members. You have to collaborate in order to make sure that anything which you are working on has to be a success. So probably getting into that, uh, knowing everyone, I would not call it knowing everyone, but being able to fit in, to be a part of that team, and also know who to approach, who might be the easiest person to approach. What if I have this challenge? Who am I going to approach? Is this person well versed and well conversant with this issue? How are they going to help me out in that? So the first thing is adapting to that environment. The other thing is getting to learn or to familiarize yourself with the technologies that are being used in, let's say, our organization. They are probably a fresh of school, fresh of a course in career in software development. There are some tools which you might have heard that are being used in the industry, and you might have not been able to work with them or know how they work. So you have to learn because these are tools which are being used every day in the organization, probably for collaboration, for versioning of the application, the system, for deployment. So you have also to learn. It might be a small challenge, but as long as you are willing and as long as you are willing to learn fast, it might not be that great of a challenge. Maybe James can also chip in and add some, share his opinion, his he, how the life, the software development journey has been.
Okay, thank you, Harrison. I think what you have mentioned is quite accurate. In the like any career, software development also has you experience some challenges and also some pleasures along the way. Maybe some of the challenges that I faced when I first joined software development was joining a team where they were using Java as the main language, and I didn't have much experience in Java. So before learning the adapting to the workings, it was quite a challenge before because you'll get that you have to interact or solve bugs in the Java language, yet you're still unfamiliar with it. So that was something that quite took me quite some while to learn. But I think in such difficulties or when you're presented with a task you have to solve, and there is some little bit of maybe you're given some timelines to deliver. I believe this is the best way to learn. Like any project, when you want to learn something is through doing. So that was actually was part of learning and also fixing the issues that were assigned to me. Maybe another challenge that I faced was having dropping into a project that was ongoing that had very strict deadlines, and there was some pressure to deliver it. So this one also comes with good preparation, how you structure yourself, and also we followed the agile methodology of delivering the project. That's whereby you plan to deliver a certain, maybe a minimum viable product at a first MVP with some. So what you do with the whole project is you break it down into small chunks and promise to deliver this maybe a certain bit by a certain timeline, and also continually now delivering the rest of the deliverables as you move on. So it's something that is quite good. It's a very good skill that I was able to learn. Maybe these are some of the things that I've been able to face, and also I think the more you stay inside of maybe there is this aspect Harrison mentioned of collaboration and teamwork. I think in any for any software to be successful, you have to collaborate, all of you. So there is also that aspect of being able to interact with your colleagues, and also that's all in the social aspect of it, and also the development aspect of it. I had to learn some new tools like Jira, where you have to track issues and also the project progress. Uh, so generally, there are challenges along the way and also some bit of learning, but all in all, the journey has been quite okay. So I say Mr. Shiondo has raised his hand. His hand. Maybe you have a question.
Immediate, please, before Mr. Shundu. At what point did you feel like you that confident enough to tackle a project that at first you seem to be green about it?
Okay. I think to answer your question, I can say that when joining the company, that was back in 2022, I was majorly a front-end developer. So my skills were JavaScript and React. So while joining that, I was joining in mind that I'm going to be a front-end developer, only developing the front end of it. But comes an issue where there is a project and you have to deliver. So it's all hands on. All the available team members, you have to collaborate on the project. So it takes just some dedication, just put in some hours to learn a little bit of what is going on. While you're still developing on the front end, like me, I was assigned the front end bit of it, but I would also consume the APIs. So, and I was also tasked to generate maybe some sample payloads of what I would be expecting the data to be coming in as. So there was that interaction with the person developing the APIs, and that's where the interest came in. I want to learn, I want to know what happens when my request gets to the backend. How is it processed? And maybe in case of an error, I was developing on the front end connecting to the APIs, and I experienced an error, and maybe the backend guy is maybe not available at the moment. So is it something, if I face an error, is it something that I can fix? So I think these are some of the things that drove me to want to learn about the backend development. That's the Java Spring Boot bit of it.
Yes, we had Mr. Shiundu. Do you have any question, Mr. Shiundu?
Hello, guys. Good morning.
Mm.
Oh, I wanted to ask a question. So some of us are self-taught because we didn't get the chance to attend institutions. Is it possible for us to get jobs?
Maybe I can address your question. So recently I came across a certain link which they were recruiting software engineers. To be specific, it was Safaricom PLC. So one of the requirements, when I was going through the requirements of what you should know, what skills you should have in order to apply for that position, there were like the languages you should know, the tools which you should know. And then I happened to see a disclaimer there. You do not have to have a degree, you just have to prove that you are good in software engineering or in development. So I don't really think it's really a mandatory requirement for you to have a university degree or a diploma or a certificate in order for you to jump into this industry. As long as you have the required skills, there's always a way, and there's always an industry or a company or an organization which would like to hire you through your contract. Yeah. So you should not. I don't think you should be worried about not having going to an institution or having a degree or a certificate.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe to add on that also, Mr. Shiundu, you'd be surprised that my line manager himself, the person who I am supposed to report to, doesn't have a degree in computer field. I think he did some business related course. And right now I'm reporting to him. He's my senior manager. So it's about the skill really in the software development industry.
Okay. Yes, we can go back to Collins and then we. Yes, Collins. Do you have any question?
If I may add on my question, what is it that, from your experience and from the look of things, what is it that the employers are looking for when it comes to software development employees, or the employees that they want to hire? What is it that they are keen about it, whether it is full stack, front end, or back end?
Okay, thank you, Collins, for your question. I think when it comes to hiring or looking for someone to work at the company, uh, what an employer would look at is the commitment of this person. Let's say they are posting for a software development job, specifically on the back end. And then they're looking for someone proficient in Java, let's say, Spring Boot. And then you send your application. You've done some maybe PHP applications, you've done some Node.js backend application. So if you look at this one, if maybe you send in your CV and they're comparing someone who has done that and is very consistent on the project that he does, and another person who, as much as he said he's specified on Spring Boot, he only does one project, and it's also maybe it's a tutorial he was looking at. He did one tutorial, he posted on GitHub, stayed another 4 months, posted on GitHub another tutorial that he was going through, but there is that lack of consistency, and it wouldn't to me from the looks of it. It will the person maybe let's say there is only those two applications. As an employer, I think you would rather go for this person doing the PHP ones and not JS, because this person is showing commitment and a push such that if you give him a platform or leeway, maybe a period to learn the Spring Boot, you know for sure that he'll adapt it very fast. And since he already has experience with the PHP one and the Node.js one, it will be easy to apply the same concept for him in the Spring Boot applications as compared to one who is not consistent in whatever he is doing. So I think it's about consistency and also pushing yourself. It's what you show, what you are presenting is your projects on GitHub. Have a GitHub account, have a GitHub profile where you are consistent with what you're posting your projects, and maybe even a portfolio website for yourself. Yeah, so I think that does that answer your question, Mr. Collins?
Yes.
Yeah.
I also wanted to add something on Mr. Collins' question. So, looking into it like this, I want to venture into the field of software engineering. So, in order to increase my chances of being employment or getting a contract, what should I be good at? Is it front end? Is it back end? Is it cloud engineering? Is it what specific area should I be good in? So as I always say, if you are an all junior developer, it's always a good thing to learn as much as possible. And that does not mean that you go and start learning Java, Python, then JavaScript. It does not mean you start learning all the languages that are available out there. It's just being good in one. Probably you are going to choose Java. Go deep into it. Learn as much as possible from that one language. Be good at everything, whether they want it from the front end, from the back end, from the deployment, whether it's be good at learn as much as you can. Because as a junior, as a person who's going into the market or calling yourself a junior, uh, it might not be specific as to what field you are going to work with. I will take, for example, James had said when he went to Renzo for the first time, he thought he was going to be a front end engineer. Then there was an ongoing project and they wanted all hands on deck. So he had to also be included in the whole process, whether it's front end, whether it's back end, whether it's deployment. So you have to be always ready to learn new stuff, learn as much as you can, be ready to, like how he was. He knew JavaScript and React. Now he had to learn Java in order to continue working in the new project which you found ongoing. So you must always be ready to learn new stuff. Uh, Learning is never enough. You can never say that I know all things. So probably you should always be ready to learn new stuff.
Okay, thank you for those questions. So at this moment, I would like also to invite back James, maybe to take us through something that he has prepared for us. James, you can share your screen and show us what you have prepared for us today.
Okay, thank you, Evans. I'll proceed and share my screen. As also as a brief, what we'll be doing. It's a small application. We'll do it in React, small to-do application. During last week's session, we talked about GitHub and collaboration, maybe working on one project as many developers. So to showcase that, maybe we can create a small to-do application with a React front end and maybe an Express backend. That's all JavaScript. JavaScript is great. So without further ado, allow me to share my screen, and we'll create a repository, and I'll do the front end bit of it, and then leave Harrison to work on a small backend where we can connect and see how we can both collaborate on the same project. So someone confirm that you can see my screen. Perfect. Let's do this. Maybe we'll start by going to GitHub. GitHub is that account where I believe every developer should have a GitHub account. Let me fix my display. Just a bit. Every developer, as a developer, I think it's very crucial to have a GitHub account because this is where you showcase your project. Hii ndio inaenda kukuongelea huko nje. Hii ndio ile actions speak louder than words. I think it's okay now. So quickly trend for GitHub. James Kuria, that's my GitHub account. Let's create a new repository.
James, I think we can only see one screen.
Oh, sorry.
You are brave.
Let me share once more. So I think this is okay now.
Yeah.
Yes. So what I've done is I've gone to my GitHub profile. That's when you land on the GitHub, github.com, I went to my profile. Under the repositories, let's create a new application. We can call it to do application. This one is available. And we leave it as public, so any one of us can be able to go back and follow, and maybe collaborate, push something to it. So let's create the repo. This is okay. So let's create here. We go to my desktop, create one application in my home folder. So this is my file system. I'll come here and initialize a new project. Let's call it, as we named it in the GitHub to do application. I'll open this one in VS Code. So you can use any IDE of your choice, but I prefer VS Code. I think for JavaScript applications, VS Code is just okay. I trust the others, it's here. So in this application, I'm going to generate React with Vite application. So React Vite. We Google a lot. Your browser and documentation is your best friend when you're a developer. So we'll use PNPM. And this one is it's quite fast compared to NPM, and I already have it installed on my machine. Maybe to install, if you have Node version, I think 18 and above, Node, you have access to PNPM. So PNPM and Yarn. So what you have to do is just Coppack enable. After installing Node, type in Coppack enable, and then with this you have PNPM installed on your machine. PNPM. So it's there. Let's get back to this. To GitHub. Let's open the integrated terminal. Paste kwenye tumetoa kule npm create Vite. Tuite aje Vite front end for this. Then let's use React. Do we do JavaScript or TypeScript? Let's do TypeScript because it's cool. Go seeding to the front end application. We'll open VS Code here. So let's just use the GitHub. The screen, it's tiny. Haionekani? Is this better? I hope inaonekana. So for the front end bit of it, let's add this one to GitHub first. I think bit already initializes a Git. Let's see. We don't have any Git repository. So we'll just copy this from the GitHub. Maybe we can skip the readme commit. Let's just add a new Git repository in this application. Initialize Git, that is, Git init. So we initialize the new empty Git repo. Then what we're going to do now is Git add everything. Now we add everything that we have initialized to the staging area. Then we can give this a good commit, add the commit message. Initial.
James?
Yes.
Could you kindly zoom your Visual Studio Code if possible?
Okay.
Thank you.
Now this one is better.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's add this, the initial commit. And then we'll have, let's add what? The remote repo. That will change it to main and the remote repo. From there, we can just add this since we already initialized the GitHub application. Remote add and push. Yes. So yes. Now we have the application there with the front end. That's the React application. I think after this, Harrison will add the backend to it, so we can both collaborate on the same project. For those who wish to get the link, stay on the channel. Let's go to the front-end application, React source app tsx. Let's spin up this application, cd to the front end. So here tuna node modules. So from the package JSON, so as to install these dependencies, we just write in here npm install. This is done. Told you, npm clear. The starting script is dev from here, so we can run npm dev and see what we have on localhost 5143. It is 5143. We have the Vite application, React Vite application with its counter there. So we just get rid of and the app JSON, app tsx. This is the main entry point. Tutoe hii yote hapa. Nafaa na hot reload, tunaweza nunua hatuhitaji. Hide kwa sawa. Tutoe styling. App tsx. And tunahitaji yote. Then remove this one here.